Hi, welcome to this community chat. We're here with the Virginia Arts Festival before their last event of the season, Williamsburg Live. I have Alli, Pereira, Director of Public Relations, and John Martin, Director of Williamsburg Live, here with us today. So thank you all for being here. They're in studio, as you can see, before the event that starts this weekend. It's a 3-day music festival in Williamsburg, and I'm going to turn it over, John, if you want to give us, a little layout of what this is.
Well, the Virginia Arts Festival for the past 26 years has ended their season finale of our programming in Williamsburg, and probably for the last 7 or 8 years, we found a festival site on the lawn of the DeWitt Wallace Museum in the historic district, and there's a large tent there. It's for 5,000 people between the tent and the lawn. It's right in the heart of Williamsburg. This year, we'll be featuring the Wood Brothers on Friday night with Shovels and Rope. Saturday night will be Kenny Loggins on his final tour with a clever little band out of Atlanta called Yacht Rock Review. And then on Sunday, June 18th, Keb Mo and the West African artist Peter One, who is just a phenomenal player. So again, we've been around for a long time. It's something everybody in the Hampton Roads area sort of looks forward to. And as a person from Williamsburg, I've been involved probably in the last 3 years with the festival. So the city's excited. I just came back from the festival site, the tent's going up.
Things are happening.
The equipment's moving, the sound and lights are coming in. And so we're excited for the weekend. And we have some great sponsors. We have some great food trucks. We have some great beer. We like selling beer, and it's there's a great environment within the community and in the Merchant Square district, where there's a lot of activity down in the historic district. Plus, it's Father's Day, and it's the Juneteenth holiday, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Williamsburg in the last 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's such a special weekend down there. Yeah.
It's such a perfect way for us to really, like John said, we're really tying a bow on our 26th season. We've had 3 months, over April, May, June, we've done 75 performances. So this really caps the Virginia Arts Festival's 26th season, and it becomes like our celebration. This is how we usher in summer, and so we're encouraging folks to make a weekend out of it. Come up to Williamsburg, get a hotel room, go eat lunch in one of the restaurants, see the sights because there's so much to do and see in Colonial Williamsburg, and then come to this one of the amazing concerts at night under the stars, under the shaded trees on the lawn. It's a perfect way to choose your own adventure. Bring your whole family, bring your friends, make it a date night. I think that there's something for everybody at this event.
Yeah.
And you were just talking a little bit about the lineup. There is something for everyone. Can you go into a little bit of what genres they all are playing for?
Yes, for the last 7 or 8 years, if you go back 26 years, there's been over 178 artists that have played in Williamsburg. Now, sometimes there are 3 or 4 acts on a show, and it's had a wide variety. But I'd say for the last 7 or 8 years, we really feature what is singer-songwriters. I think that's what the festival has come to be a definition. For several years in 16, 17, and 18, Bruce Hornsby would play a lot there. And Bruce, great pianist, great singer-songwriter, and he was into the singer-songwriter. And I think that you can look at in our past history, whether it's Norah Jones or Emmylou Harris or Sheryl Crow, we're talking about singer-songwriters. And this year, Wood Brothers, I think, are perfect example.
Okay, the Wood Brothers are probably my favorite band.
And
So shout
I'll
out
let
to
her
me.
take
Yes,
right
yeah, Allie's
there.
taking the mic here.
No, I adore this trio. They're a bluegrass Americana trio, and Oliver Wood's voice is everything. So if you're, any kind of bluegrass blues, they sort of genre jump a little bit, I would say, because they sing about heartbreak, but then they have this like funky funk thing they go into. So their special guest is husband and wife folk duo Shovels and Rope, and I'm talking about Oliver Wood's voice, but now let me talk about her voice. She is like this raspy, almost like feels like Louisiana, just like down home voice, and they really for me encompass like what folk Americana music is. They're like tapping on their drums, and it's very I don't know, approachable.
Organic.
It's
Organic.
Yeah.
It's the Wood Brothers, I think, have a combination between jazzy bluegrass kind of thing, jam bandy kind of vibe to it, to blues. And I think that's where you put those combination of the brothers, because the vocal harmony of brothers is born. I mean, you look at the great members of bands all around the world, it's families that sing together.
Yep.
And I think they found the way they play together is something pretty special, and I think that's probably what has made their growth, because they both came from two different areas, one from jazz, one from blues, and didn't come together musically until later in life. Later in life, like 15, 20
They've been
years
together
ago.
a long time. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. So, and I think that's what resonates with our fans of
Right.
that, of the genre that really, and it becomes something that is from, for all ages, So you
Right.
get people that are my age and there's late 60s and 70s that still relate to it because it's it's baby boomer relatable, and then it's also younger, because it's the same genre that we grew up with.
It'll make you want to rock and
Because
boogie and
we
just
grew
kind
up
of
with
jam.
singer-songwriters in the 70s and the 60s. So that's what makes it complement. And then if you just take that to Kenny Loggins, who is in his 70s and who started out as a folk singer and classic rock. Loggins and Messina originally, his original claim to fame, they were a rock duo. I mean, they were a folk rock duo in the genre of the Eagles and things like that in 73. So
Well, and Kenny,
I think that's what makes it, and then his growth and his
that's what I
catalog
was
is so
going to say.
deep. His
He's got
catalog
so
is
much.
so deep.
He's been performing for like 4 decades.
Right.
This guy's he's an icon. So I
And
think
he's
it's a bucket
called it
list.
the last tour, but
I know. What do you think about that, John? It's his farewell tour, right?
Well, I think in his case he may be. I think he may be this. This is it kind
He's
of
calling
thing.
it. This is it.
He's not in the genre of. I worked for Cher for 2 tours. I worked on both her farewell tours, and she's still thinking about going on again. So it's there are people that keep saying goodbye that can't get enough of it. But I think Kenny will. I think he'll perform again, but I don't think he wants to tour.
Right.
I think he's
So
a
this
real,
is your
he's-
chance.
He is a real activist and does a lot of good work, and I think he wants to focus on some of his good works and funnel that energy into that.
I get that.
think,
and people like
humanitarian.
I think
activist.
there's Kenny Loggins songs that you don't even realize are Kenny Loggins songs. Like Footloose, and I mean a lot of people know like Danger Zone and like all of his
Right.
well,
famous
I feel
music.
like
But
maybe a newer generation with the new Maverick probably
Yeah.
had a opening
So true.
to see Danger Zone as what it was.
Right. But the Loggins and Messina catalog is really deep
Right.
of what was such a classic rock top 40 radio, which takes you right to the tongue-in-cheek aspect of Yacht Rock Review, which he's bringing with him on
Right.
tour,
Yeah.
because he understands that where he was in the genre of music, and I think he just embraced it. And I think Yacht Rock Review, which is when I first looked at it, as an older guy, I'm like, you got to be kidding
You're like,
me.
what is this?
Yeah, you got to be kidding
Yeah.
me. But I get it, and it should be a fun night.
Yeah.
It's all. I always say to people that if they're not sure what Yacht Rock Review is, if they've ever found themselves in a karaoke bar at 1 o'clock in the morning singing a Journey song, they are really fans of Yacht Rock Review.
Yeah.
It is a lot of that schmaltzy 70s,
Yeah,
top
it's super
40
kitschy. I mean,
Yeah, it's
their
very
tagline
mellow,
is
it's
like hot
Asian.
dads. What do they call themselves? Hot dads in tight jeans.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
it's-
funny.
So
They're
you can
embracing
take that with what you will. Yeah.
And
embracing
for Kenny
the
Kenny to
cheese.
sort of chuckle at himself, because usually if they define Yacht Rock Review, there's a picture of Kenny Loggins. I mean, usually in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So he's just going to embrace it, and but
It'll
I
be
think his
fun.
catalog. He's a singer-songwriter at heart. A lot of the later stuff, he's a vocalist. A lot of the movie soundtracks, Danger Zone and things like that, which he didn't really write as much as he sang, because he's an iconic vocalist.
Right.
And I think people that will come there are going to have a great time. And
Oh,
I think it's going to be
he's a
it's
pro,
just going to
yeah.
be a good thing. And then you slide into Sunday night.
I know, it's 3 incredible nights
Yeah.
right in a row. We go into Kebmo on Sunday, and Kebmo, for those of you that don't know Kebmo, his name is Kevin Moore. He goes by Kebmo as his kind of artist persona, but he's this. I've met him a couple of times. He is just like this super humble, amazing artist. Also, kind of, I think he's in his early 70s, perhaps.
Yes.
But he
old like
doesn't
me.
tour. Yeah, he just something about his vibe is like perfect for Sunday, in my opinion, because he's just like, he's funky, but he's bluesy. That New Orleans kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, how else would you?
There's a blues, Americana blues.
Americana
is where
blues.
it really sits.
Yeah.
Where I mean, he's got 4 to 6 Grammys, and he's got.
He's
I
just,
mean,
he's a Grammy.
so-
Gosh, let's talk about all the
Yeah.
Grammys on this lineup
and,
alone.
and
But
that really makes it. He's an Americana blues artist. We have Just As Shovels and Rope is an Americana folk, but it all sort of drops into that big bucket of Americana singer-songwriter music, and that's what ties the weekend together.
Right.
And I think there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
It's something for all demographics, and
And for people who haven't been there, I mean, is it standing room only? Are there seats? I mean, how does the flow work?
we have it sits in Colonial Williams on the lawn of the DeWitt Wallace Museum, really in the heart of Colonial Williamsburg. There's a tent that seats 1,700
yeah,
people.
you're showing some of the images
Yes.
here on screen, which is
and then
perfect.
you can see surrounding that tent is another lawn seating for 3,500 people probably.
Yeah, we like to call the tent capacity, because it is in Williamsburg, 1776.
Yeah,
inside the tent.
yeah.
That's our.
Why did I not know that?
That's an inside joke.
Inside joke.
Yeah.
But then there's so much lawn seating out there. I mean, it's a perfect way to spread out a blanket, bring your lawn chair. You know,
Right.
it's perfect. space.
And there's a parking lot across the street where all the food trucks are, the beer is there. There's some vendors that we have, our sponsors that do some displays. The entry is on the street, and it's an easy walk. There's plenty of parking. There's some shuttle if you want to just park at the visitor center and ride a shuttle bus. It'll drop you off
Yeah, a lot of
practically
people
in
do
front of
that.
the place. And there's just a lot of activity. Doors open at 5:30 each night, and music starts at 7 o'clock on Friday, 6:30 early on Saturday, and then on Sunday we're going to start at 7.
Yeah.
You
So
can
it's-
buy a 3-day ticket package.
Right.
You can buy one night. You can buy 2 nights. It's sort of like we're talking about, choose your own adventure. But the best place to buy tickets is vafest.org. So don't just Google and buy a ticket wherever. Make sure you
Right.
visit the official vafest.org to
right.
get your tickets.
And in terms of, how this got started, I mean, just for, we've talked about all these artists that have been here and, how many amazing people have been on stage, but how important is it to have this element with the Virginia Arts Festival? Because at least Alli and I, we've talked a lot this season about dance and some more classical performances that are on, but we've also talked about the concert truck, and we've talked about bringing music to different communities. So, how important is this part of it?
It's the wheel. Mm-hmm. It's really the each individual part of the arts that make up that whole wheel of what the Virginia Arts Festival is about. So it's a spoken hub kind of thing. So this is pop music. Mm-hmm. There's no question about that. We're contemporary pop music. But if you look at it between mid-June and mid-March of the other 80 performances that we do in the Hampton Roads area, we try to encompass everything.
Absolutely.
And that is, that's what the arts are.
Right.
Well, and
so we have a little bit for everyone,
our
right?
Our 26th season, we were created, the Arts Festival was created to drive cultural tourism. That's why we exist.
Right.
And so I think Williamsburg Live does just that. It really speaks to the heart of what we're trying to do, which is, increase tourism here in the shoulder months. So right before the busy summer tourist season, and that's really what we do through Williamsburg Live and through lots of our events throughout the March, April, May, June. But
you see the difference when we added the Perry Pavilion this last year with what we did there, and or the last couple of years. But that's additional popular entertainment,
right?
And I know, you can probably speak to this too. Well, this is a really important event for the city of Williamsburg and for Colonial Williamsburg. They work really closely with us to make this event happen. Right. And Visit Williamsburg. We have a lot of great partnerships within the city that kind of helps make this the wheel, the well-oiled machine that it has become.
Right. Absolutely.
Williamsburg is tourism. Williamsburg is a small college town that is in the tourism business, and the city understands that. They support us, and the chamber supports us. The Downtown Merchants Association. We drive people in for the weekend. It's become it has become a tradition, and a couple of the timeshare people that have talked to me over the past, they reserve their timeshare for the third weekend in June because they know that there's going to be something there that they want to see. And then when we added, in recent years, the Juneteenth Consortium to in programming within Colonial Williamsburg and the Williamsburg city and James City County and Yorktown, actually in the whole area. It's really added a different element to what we do programming wise. All the activity that are really going on there. We have a car show behind, on Saturday morning. There's a church service on Sunday morning over across the street. Kevin Moe's band is going to come in, and he's interested in what we're doing in the community. So we're going to do some things with him on that day. I work pretty closely with Colonial Williamsburg and our hotel partners there in the city and with the city themselves. So just trying to make the event work and to function for the citizens, the townies like I am, and then the tourist. And we're trying to bridge that and try to be a little bit for everyone. I think we've done a good job, and we keep continually growing it. And through our media partners like you, or through our different radio partners, it's all important because we're all preaching about the same thing. And it's about Williamsburg, it's about the music, and it's about coming in and spending the weekend and enjoying everything from the farmer's market on Saturday morning to, I mean, there's something for you all day long.
That's true.
This weekend.
Right.
If you want to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can go to the farmer's market and you can go to a car show, and then by the time you have lunch, you're ready to come over to the concert Saturday night.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to do. And on Monday, if you're actually coming up the day after, there's free admission for Juneteenth with Colonial Williamsburg.
I'm
So
glad
they
you meant-
really,
yeah.
Yes.
so and those are different things. If you're there from Sunday night and you're staying over, you can do
And
your
don't eat dinner before you come, because did we mention we've got something like 10 to 12 food trucks
Right.
each night.
Right.
So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, an amazing group of local food trucks up there. So.
And I guess just to make sure, like, news you can use for some people, I mean, can you bring chairs or blankets or
Right.
what? Is all of that allowed on the grounds?
Yep, you can bring a blanket, you can bring a lawn chair. We discourage umbrellas.
Right.
We don't want to block anybody's view. And we don't want the super tall chairs, right?
right,
The beach
you know,
chair
or
or
do
the
Chase
athletic-
Lounge
right, yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. But what you can, a beach chair, what camp folding chair, like
Folding
you
chair.
go sit there and
And just because
watch
you
soccer.
mentioned umbrellas, is this a rain or shine situation?
It is.
Okay.
It is, as much as anything can be rain or shine.
Absolutely.
And rain is okay, lightning is not okay.
Right.
So just like any other outdoor event, we will
Right.
consider the safety of the patrons. And knock on wood, I don't think they've ever lost one. We've delayed stuff. We've flexed the schedule a little bit, but that is what our goal is. But our first goal is for the public safety, and we'll look after that. And we have plenty of the Williamsburg Police Department weather channel people looking at us, and so we have a really great team of people that are on site that help us make those decisions, and it'll be a good weekend. So.
If you haven't heard of any of these artists, this is the perfect opportunity to just come enjoy the weather, see a musician you maybe have never heard of before, but
Right.
trust us when we say you will be
Trust
you will
us.
be thrilled. You will be thrilled by this
And the
lineup.
Wood Brothers is Allie's favorite band.
That's right.
And she
Yes.
will be
You
there
can't say that
early.
enough.
Front row in the tent
Yes, she's
by the speakers.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great weekend. We're really thrilled to have this to give to the community.
Absolutely. And then, I just wanted to end by just looking ahead, just for people can keep an eye on it. And I can obviously add the Virginia Arts Festival link as well.
Please.
But even though the season is ending this weekend, the season proper, there are still events that are going on through the summer, through the year.
That's right. Yep. I know. We were talking a little bit about this, Sarah, before we came into our Virginia Arts Festival season ends with Williamsburg Live, but we turn right back around July 6th in Virginia Beach with Beyond Van Gogh, the immersive experience.
Right.
So that'll be at the Virginia Beach Convention Center for the whole month of July, starting July 6th, and the whole month of August. So what that is, it's amazing. You've probably heard of it. It's kind of traveled a little bit all around the U.S. here and abroad. You walk in and there's projections of all Van Gogh paintings on the floor, on the ceiling, on the walls, and you feel like you're immersed in the paintings. There's a virtual reality component. There's, there's music. It's a whole immersive experience.
Right.
Hence
Yeah.
the
It's
name, Beyond Van Gogh, the immersive experience.
Van Gogh experience. You can go to the website and we can.
The website is beyondvangoghvirginiabeach.com.
And those tickets are they're sold on a time basis, so you can just make a reservation.
Yep.
Say I want to come at 10:15 on August 12th, and we'll sell you a ticket for that. And it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to go through it and have that experience. And it's as Alli said, it's just to us it's the icing on the cake for the festival, because it just extends the great work that we do
Right.
within the communities, and that's just something that we had the opportunity and we jumped on it.
We're
also.
so lucky to be
So,
the local partner, because this is a touring
Right.
exhibit, and it's we're talking about family friendly at Williamsburg Live. Bring the kids to this, especially. It's going to be so cool. You're going to feel like you're inside of a painting, and it's like John mentioned, it's like a 45-minute sort of tour day, and then you can go and explore Virginia Beach. So we're really trying to kind of
Right.
partner really
And
closely with
as
the different
this
communities.
tour has moved around the country, into Pierre, I think there's a lot of excitement
Yeah.
for people to now finally see it, but at home. They don't need to travel to a DC or a New
Raleigh
York
or
some,
Charlotte,
right, exactly. So they have it right in their
exactly.
backyard.
And it's in the Vibe District in Virginia Beach, which is full of restaurants, full of shopping, really close to the oceanfront itself. So another great excuse for a staycation right here in our backyard.
Right. And then I guess we'll just keep an eye out for other programming throughout the year. I mean, I know that the jazz series and different things like that, stay up.
Yeah,
but-
we typically will announce our next season probably in early November.
Okay.
So just kind of keep in touch with us on social media, which our handle is VA Arts Fest, or check our website, vafest.org. But we'll announce hopefully what is a great 27th season in the fall.
And just to add, I mean, all that time is obviously spent getting this rich, lineup of people in line for the next season so that you all can bring back or bring new, companies or theater or whatever it is, to our area.
Exactly.
Because this year, I mean, we've talked about, different features, but between, the festival, the Virginia International Tattoo, and then you have the Pan Fest on the beach. I mean, there's so much that has happened this season, and so many events that people have been able to participate in.
Yeah, that is really our bread and butter is, the annual events, yes, but the new, the unique, the
Right.
exciting, Rob Cross, who's our executive director, he's not afraid of these niche performers that are super avant-garde and kind of out of the box. So you'll have your traditional dance theater, but then you'll see some sort of, we call them the fringe artists that we bring in, and with the addition of the Perry Pavilion, that'll be back next year. So lots to look forward to as we kind of close the door on an amazing season.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else that, I mean, I'm sure we could have talked about these artists. I want to hear more about your background at some point. But I think there is so much more that we could touch on. But is there anything, going into the weekend, I think, is it really the message, come, have a good time, enjoy Williamsburg, and enjoy the artists?
I think he's just summed that right
You
up.
summed it
Yeah,
up for
you summed
sure.
it up, I think. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today,
problem.
and
Great.
I hope the weather it holds out this
Yes,
weekend, and it's a
yes.
great weekend out in Williamsburg.
Yes.
There are still tickets available, so if anyone's watching, I'll put the link up on WAVY.com. You can also find it on Facebook and through the Virginia Arts Festival's Facebook page as well. So you have all the resources there. So thank you so much for joining us.